A political storm has erupted at the top of Keir Starmer's government. New revelations have exposed serious issues with the judicial system, and one of the Prime Minister's closest allies is under growing pressure to resign. Lord Herma, the Attorney General, is at the center of controversy after allegations surfaced that he failed to act on sentences deemed excessively lenient in serious cases. Criticism has been mounting, with many now calling for his resignation or for Starmer to dismiss him immediately. At the center of the scandal are three cases: a rapist, a pedophile, and a terrorist fundraiser. Despite the seriousness of their crimes, all received significantly lighter sentences than Lucy Connolly, a woman sentenced to 31 months in prison for a tweet related to last year's Southport attacks, which was deleted just 4 hours after it was posted. According to recent reports released by the Telegraph, Lord Herma's office had the power to refer those sentences to the Court of Appeal for reconsideration, as in England and Wales, the Attorney General has the constitutional power to review sentences imposed by Crown Courts if they are deemed too lenient. This mechanism allows citizens to request a re-evaluation of cases and gives the Attorney General the power to refer them to the court, which can uphold the sentence, increase it, or issue guidelines for the future. This is a crucial tool for ensuring public confidence in the justice system, ensuring that sentences reflect the seriousness of the crime. But in these cases, rape, child abuse, and terrorist financing, Herma's office apparently chose not to act. The outrage has been further intensified because, while he chose not to intervene in those cases, Lord Herma did authorize the prosecution of Lucy Connolly. Although he did not impose the sentence, that decision rested with the judge. His approval for the case to move forward has been strongly questioned, especially now that these other precedents have come to light. Critics of his actions point to an alarming inconsistency in the way justice is being administered. The decision to prosecute Connolly for a social media post, while at the same time not challenging sentences considered lenient for extremely serious crimes, has sparked accusations of political bias and poor judgment. And this isn't the only issue for which Lord Herma has recently come under fire. In a recent speech, he compared proposals for the United Kingdom to withdraw from the European Convention on Human Rights to the rise of Nazism, prompting a wave of condemnation across all political spectrums. Richard Tice, deputy leader of Reform UK, was blunt. It seems that for Lord Herma, rape, pedophilia, and terrorism are less serious than an offensive tweet that was deleted within 4 hours. He added, "This makes him completely unfit to serve as Attorney General. He should resign or be removed." Criticism hasn't come only from Reform UK. Chris Philp, the Shadow Secretary, also lashed out, accusing Herma and Starmer of a complete lack of principle. Herma has demonstrated appalling judgment, from his advocacy of the Chaos Islands handover to calling his political rivals Nazis. He is unfit to continue in his role, and if Starmer had a shred of decency, he would have removed him by now. But we all know he won't touch a hair of his old friend, ally, and donor. Despite mounting pressure, Lord Herma remains in office. The Attorney General's office issued a statement defending the proceedings. It clarifies that decisions to prosecute are made independently by the Crown Prosecution Service, and that sentences, as well as their length, are determined by judges and juries, not the government. While the intent of this statement is to distance the executive branch from the judiciary, it does not directly address the allegations of Herma's selective use or omission of his constitutional powers. For now, the political crisis shows no signs of abating. The revelations have sparked a profound debate about impartiality, judicial integrity, and political influence within the core of Starmer's government, and demands for a clear response continue to grow. As the political scandal continues to rock the government, another far-reaching problem is quietly beginning to impact millions of British citizens: the tax system. New data reveals that a large number of people, including pensioners, are being absorbed into the tax system without significantly changing their income. The reason: income tax thresholds remain frozen, causing what experts call fiscal drag. According to recent figures provided by HM Revenue and Customs, HMRC, a total of 37.7 million people paid income tax during the 2024 to 2025 tax year. This represents a significant increase of 6 million taxpayers compared to the 2019 to 2020 figure, when it was 31.5 million. In just 1 year, from 2023 to 2024, the number of people liable for tax has grown by 1.4 million. The phenomenon that explains this increase has nothing to do with legal reform or tax rate increases. The main cause is the freezing of tax thresholds in a context of inflation and rising wages. Without adjusting the income limits that determine who pays taxes, more people, even those with modest incomes, are forced to contribute. This process has also been reflected in the number of national insurance contributors. During 2024 to 2025, some 28.5 million people made contributions to Class 1 of the national insurance, compared to 26.6 million in 2022 to 2023. Claire Stinton, head of workplace savings analysis at Hargreaves Lansdowne, describes the phenomenon as a silent tax, a way to increase the tax burden without changing the law, simply by freezing thresholds while wages rise. She says that since the 2021 to 2022 tax year, the tax-free amount, known as the personal allowance, has remained at £12,570. Had it kept pace with inflation, that threshold should now be around £15,518. The difference means that millions of people who previously paid no tax now do so, even though their real incomes have barely improved. This impact is not limited to working people. A particularly vulnerable group is pensioners. Thanks to the triple lock system, which ensures that state pensions increase each year by the greater of inflation, wage growth, or 2.5%, payments have increased by approximately 24% in just 3 years. For the 2025 to 2026 period, the weekly state pension has reached £230.35, up from £185.15 in 2022 to 2023. Although this increase is welcomed by many retirees, it has also raised a new concern. More and more people are being forced to pay taxes solely on their state pension. If pensions continue to rise while the tax threshold remains frozen, more retirees could cross the threshold and have to pay taxes, something that didn't happen in previous years. Claire Stinton warned that this is no small issue. For many low-income retirees, who for years didn't have to worry about income tax, this new situation is forcing them to reconsider their financial planning. It's not just that more people are paying taxes, she said, but that they are now paying more on a larger portion of their income. Given this scenario, Stinton recommends that those saving for retirement consider long-term tax strategies. One of the most effective is to continue contributing to a private pension, as this can help reduce taxable income while increasing savings for the future. Another key tool he suggests is the use of ISAs individual savings accounts, which allow for tax-free withdrawals. According to Stinton, combining pensions with ISAs can offer a significant advantage in retirement, allowing for greater flexibility in tax management. This is especially useful if the estimated retirement income could exceed the expected tax thresholds. In a context where the cost of living remains high and taxes continue to rise without the need to increase rates, financial planning becomes more important than ever. In short, what appears to be a technical measure, such as keeping income tax thresholds frozen, is generating a massive and silent impact. What was once a predictable tax system has now become a hidden trap for millions of workers, and especially for pensioners. Many of them already facing the effects of rising living costs must now deal with an unexpected tax burden simply for receiving the pension the state promised them. The paradox is cruel. The increase in pensions is celebrated, but no one talks about the tax that this increase entails. More people are paying taxes, more people are paying further, and all without changing a single law. It's the silent tax of inflation and inaction. That's why financial planning is no longer just a recommendation. It's a necessity. Understanding how the system works, using the right tools, and anticipating the future impact of seemingly minor decisions can make the difference between a peaceful retirement or one full of tax surprises.